Morning. That sounded really cheesy. I apologize for that. Anyways, good morning, good afternoon to you all. I hope you guys are enjoying the vlog series. If you are, please leave a like down there and let me know what you're actually enjoying about it and what you're not enjoying. Today, it's Monday, we're gonna kick it off. We got a meeting with a factual operations business coach, Jennifer, this morning. Lovely 30-minute drive, and it just snowed last night. It's 9 degrees right now with wind chill, so no idea what it feels like. We have a renewal coming up here in June, so we need to send out all the stuff for the renewal to kind of give them an idea on how many videos that they have left on their current contract, and then looking at options for next year for their renewal. So fingers crossed that they renew. I think it's pretty promising that they're going to renew because we've had a good cadence of videos. They've been a good client, and this is one of those clients that A, they cooperate very well, B, it's really consistent work. It's once a month shoots, and then C, like, they're my ideal fit as a client. Like, everything about them is just perfect for me. So I really hope they do renew, and I hope to gather more people like them, which leads us into, got a referral from somebody that is like them as a client. So we're going to reach out to them to see if we can get something on the books for scheduling a meeting. I'm going to be editing some Mulligan Mics, so I need to go ahead and finish those because I have none edited outside of the one that posts today on Monday. So I need to make sure I'm batching some of those coming up. And then we're just going to schedule this week's worth of content for both my personal page for Parde Media and for Mulligan Mics. So the shoot coming up is called Moving Moms Forward. So it's going to be a nonprofit shoot that a real estate agent, a moving company, and then the nonprofit called Baby and Me are putting on. So it's going to be 3 reels that they're going to use to promote. So the first reel that I had pitched to them is going to be the attention grabbing reel. You're going to see, hopefully I have it done by now so I can show you a little teaser of that on what that looks like. If not, you got to wait till next week. The second one is going to be a awareness on where to drop off. So they're kind of trying to gather a bunch of diapers and wipes for mothers in need that just had kids that don't have the funds to get all of those diapers or those wipes for their newborn baby. They have, I think it's like 10 or 15 different drop-off locations. And then the last one is going to be more their why statement.
Where are you going to drop them off at? Remax Concept!
Don't forget about Mama Bear Nutrition and Zen Salon Studio.
One more, you got this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You got this. Come on, you got this.
What are you doing?
Training.
Training for what?
1,000 diapers, 1,000 wipes.
Wait, what?
Moving Moms Forward event on April 18th from 10 to noon at Remax.
Because to make sure no mother falls through the cracks again by providing essential needs such as diapers and wipes.
Because I'm a working mother and I don't believe other working mothers should have to worry about where their diapers and wipes come from for their baby.
Because I was a single mom, I totally understand that no woman should go without basic needs for their child.
Lots today, so we're gonna go ahead and conquer. I'll try to bring you along for a couple of things. I don't know what really makes sense to bring along to. So if you want to be brought along to some of the things, just let me know more of what you want to see. I do have to say I'm thoroughly enjoying filming from this bigger camera, but I'm a little worried with it being a 24 focal length that it just needs to be a little bit wider for certain situations. So I'm probably gonna look at maybe getting a 16 f1.8 lens. I do have the 16 to 35 f4 that is a Sony lens, but the f4 might not be good in these situations. But right now I'm shooting at f8, which seems to be fine. I have a light coming through the window because the sun just went up. So maybe not. So I had this idea probably 5 months ago to create a content studio. So what it would be is there'd be like a green screen room, there'd be a podcast room, maybe a couple podcast rooms, big open area that you could create whatever studio scene that you wanted to, and then having other businesses come and either rent out the space, other videographers come and rent out the space here in Lincoln, Nebraska. But looking at it logistically, it didn't seem to make a lot of sense for me to have that big of a cost to start something like that. I know a lot of times business, you got a very big upfront cost versus this very small upfront cost. Operationally wise though, to have something that is yours, that is there, and that people can come to you to do it versus you traveling all those places made a lot of sense to me, and it was very appealing, but I didn't act on it now. But I got a notification on my phone that somebody had sent me a message about a new first ever content production agency or content production place in Lincoln, Nebraska. So I just sent them a message. They said they're going to be there today for a couple hours so I can come by for a tour, check it out. Very interested in seeing what it's like, but we'll see. I want to walk you through the setup for tomorrow. We got GoPro behind the scenes footage. We got Atmos Shinobi monitor here with the FX3, a little side handle, and then the top handle. Since all of it's going to be vertical, it should work pretty good. We'll see how it goes. The rig surprisingly worked very well. I had to move this over to the side. GoPro worked great on it. The only thing I forgot to do is start the GoPro, but overall it went well. But I think what went even better is I had a firm structure with it. So I knew exactly what we were gonna do, when we were gonna do it, and then I could easily coach each person to do that, which was very helpful on days like today where it's 16 degrees outside, it's super cold, and we had to do the majority of stuff outside. We were originally planning on doing it inside, but then they were getting carpet redone, they were getting countertops redone in there, and just a bunch of stuff. They were having a meeting in there at the real estate agency, so we couldn't do it inside anymore. So being able to quickly adapt to certain situations can really help you grow as a business, and it did just that. One of the people that I was working with, she runs a moving company. Now they want to do a 30-day series for a couple of different things that they're working on, and they want to work with me now to film those series. And I think that's going to be great. I'm going to move this a little bit more so it's out of the way. That's just going to be a great partnership to have. And then the other one, the real estate agent that reached out, she's starting 2 different adventures, and then she's also working with another nonprofit for that. So she's wanting to do same kind of videos for that nonprofit, and she's wanting to do videos for both of her other businesses that she's doing. And then I made a good impression and made sure I was flexible with moving around and being accommodating to everybody while you're there, because you never know who's watching. And why I say that is she had also had talked with her broker after I had left, and he was interested in connecting with me to hire me for a couple of videos that they were working on, which I don't know if you guys know anything about real estate videos, but I feel like it's really hard to get in with good real estate people or with brokers to be able to do that. And the fact that I didn't do any outreach for it, it was just being present, it was networking through different groups that I'm in, and then coming with ideas and presenting yourself in a good format and basically treating everybody right and get you more jobs than you think. Time to film my Mulligan Mic minis. So I set up a camera over here with the teleprompter, I have my iPad going. I just run the Sony FX3 over here. I had the Nanlite 300B light, with just one of the small rig, quick collapsible ones. Love this one just because it goes up and down super easy. But that's essentially the talking head setup. Easy control, just turn off all the lights basically, and then that projects enough to make it look good. So we have Mulligan Mic being exported. That was the second one that we did. And then we got this in the mail, which I'm gonna find out hopefully tomorrow, because I have something else coming that I want to showcase. Hopefully going to be able to help elevate a couple different things that I've been working on. And then I want you guys to let me know. It's in the H.265 file. So I want to know, is there a big difference between this and the beginning of the vlog, where the beginning of the vlog is in the NRAW Kodak. So tell me if you can see a difference or not. Anybody else's dog always set in the way when you're trying to do stretching? Or just mine? Got the treadmill fixed out in the garage, so gonna be spending the rest of the day going for a long run. Still doing the marathon training, and unfortunately you are not gonna go for the run too, because it's on a treadmill. She's too old, she can't run that far anyways. Happy Friday. Fill you in from yesterday. We had a meeting in the morning. Our group meeting meets on Thursday every morning. So we had that. I was able to pitch an idea. I want to hit home on this purpose. So a lot of times, like, people don't know what they don't know. People don't know what they need yet until they're presented with that want. That's oftentimes what we call marketing. So I think often as videographers, like, people think, yeah, you create a video, but it's just like, what kind of a video works for me? So a lot of times, like, what I do in particular is ideal creation. So at my networking group, it is about 15 different business owners. And my idea from them is that video where it's just like, allow me to reintroduce myself, and then they spin in the chair and it has like their title and everything like that up there. But going an extra step and having it, like, I would have my golf clubs with me, and hopefully I can find some Caddyshack stuff, and then like my camera and be like, ooh. So it's just like hopefully stands apart versus like the title, but it has that catchy song with it. So I pitched that to them and they all loved it. So we're going to do that. And that idea would have never happened unless I had this opportunity. So every time you meet with anybody that runs a business that has a brand or that wants to develop a brand, that wants to develop something, and I think a lot of times the meetings that we're having, everybody wants to develop something like that or have something that's their own. So just bringing your expertise and like sharing fun different ideas. I know some people are gonna be like, don't give away all your ideas. That's yours, and they can just take it and run. If they take it and run, great, good for them. But most of the time, they're not going to. They don't have the $6,000 camera. They don't have the, I don't know, $2,000 lens, the GM lens. Like they don't have these nice. They don't have these nice equipment that they're able to do this stuff with. They don't have the editing software, the technique, the skills to do that. Sure, they can learn, but at the same time, most of these people are not going to. They're just going to want to have somebody do it for them. So I would just say preach with that idea first. After that, I had a one-to-one with one of my buddies that was on Mulligan Mic. That's a really good friend. Got to pick his brain about a couple different things. They have some exciting stuff coming up for them in the future. So I just said, hey, it'd be cool if you did this video, dude. It'd be cool if you did this video, dude. So fingers crossed something's going to happen with that. Then the next thing that we had was a business event where there's a bunch of vendors there. And it was one of the businesses that is in my networking group that is in particularly my direct group that we just talked about on Thursday. They had the event last year, we went, supported them, took the kids. They had the event this year, went again, supported them. I think anytime that you can show physically your support, I think the saying is like show up first. Physically go to that. Like take the opportunity to physically go to it because it's going to make a difference. And that allows you more face-to-face interaction time. Plus for me, it allows my kids to have a little bit of a insight on what I do. They're 2 and 3, so they're not going to understand completely. But it's fun for me to show them off as a dad and just to have experiences with them doing those kind of things. And most of those vendors, they either know who I am or they got to know who I am at that time just because of everybody that I know there. So it's showing support. And then they get to see, hey, these are all dad's friends. We got a bunch of free stuff in there too. So drinks, they got to meet Miss Lincoln. So other different opportunities that you can not only give for your family and yourself and your spouse maybe or your friends, but also showing up where it matters. And then today it's March Madness for a second day. Not gonna probably get a lot of stuff done, but had a meeting this morning, 8 o'clock. They're doing a new event. So we're going to set up a testimonial spot after the event. So that way they can record the evergreen testimonials that they can use. But that was this morning. The rest of the day, we got to do the business admin stuff. So it's updating on the expenses, the unsexy stuff. We just had our meeting there. I got to do some of the questions for upcoming Mulligan Mic round on Monday, get everything prepped for that. I have to schedule all the social media stuff for Mulligan Mic for the next 2 weeks. Then I'm going to try to hit some people up that I'm waiting to hear back from. And we got these. Thank you, Jared, or Lynn's, Jared, whatever your name is. I thank you, Jared. I got these small rig. I've had a clamp before, but the one that I have right here, I like it, but this part, it doesn't come off. So the situation I ran into before is I had this, which I can attach to my camera, but then this end I couldn't attach to my GoPro. So I needed this on my GoPro to be able to do more behind the scenes. Because the focus this year is doing more behind the scenes stuff. So if you can see like in this little example here, you're gonna be able to attach it to like your monitor, you're gonna be able to attach it to a GoPro, attach it to the camera to be able to have different further back type angles, which I think is gonna be great. And there's just more flexibility. This one does come with a clamp as well. So I made sure to get that one. But it leads into this. I wanted to make sure that I got a shorter version of this. Going to assume that the shorter version can hold more weight. I'm gonna test it out just because there's less of an area there. And then you got the longer version there. So I wanted the shorter version for the heavier camera. Needed another clamp. So this one is actually gonna be a little bit different of a clamp. And it's different from the one that I have. It's larger, so it goes about like 2 inches longer with like the length there. So it should be able to attach it to stuff easier. And then I hate how on these there's a screw, so you have to screw it in all the time. So I went and got these small rig Hawk Lock Universal Mini drop-in quick releases. I have a million of these things. It has a 1/4 inch screw on the bottom, so you're gonna go ahead and screw that in, and then here you can push down on it, and that's what releases it. So when you push down, this part pops out. So you got these two separate ones. This part pops out, and then it's going to attach these quarters to your camera, to your GoPro. So we're gonna try to put these on these and put them on a couple of my cameras so that way I can quickly go from shooting horizontal to vertical with these fun little different setups for some interesting shots. Because that's a goal, get more interesting shots. I really feel like I had a good week, but at the same time I didn't. I don't know how or like why I feel like I didn't have a very good week, because like I did a lot of stuff. Like I was able to cross off a ton of stuff, and I was able to have some really good meetings, able to get some content shot. There's a couple jobs that end up getting postponed, so that kind of sucks. A couple other things that I was supposed to work on had to get rescheduled due to like some illnesses, which is the season. But it just doesn't feel like as productive, I think, just because I don't know, I relate it most of the time to like if I made money or not that week, if it was a successful week, which I know is the wrong thing to do, but it's really hard to just get past that mindset from being an employee for so long, where it's like, great, you got that paycheck every 2 weeks, whether you did a good job or not. And my hard thing that I've been trying to translate it into is focus on results, not activity, which can be really hard because you have a lot of activity, and like you do have to do activity to be able to get the results, but it takes time to get those results for some certain things. Like there has to be seeds, and especially where I'm doing a lot on social media, doing a lot on YouTube, it takes time to grow those. So the result of posting it versus like doing the busy work, I'm trying to really focus on like making high quality content to start growing that. I'm shifting my personal Instagram from heavy Mulligan Mic focused and everything else focused to taking Mulligan Mic out of my Instagram and putting it on to something else. Facebook is still going to be all three of them, just because I'm monetized on Facebook. All three kind of seem to grow fairly well on that. Where Instagram, I'm going to separate the two of them, which should have more time, and then put my Instagram more into a Parde Media type asset that hopefully other businesses can find me, and I can put more of my creative type stuff on there. So what I'm going to do for next week, I have my schedule here in front of me. We got some stuff that we have to shoot, but I'm going to make it a challenge to create one piece of content with the small rigs, and it's just like something that's interesting that I've been maybe wanting to post for a while. So that's kind of my goal for next week. But that's going to be everything for this week's vlog. So thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.